Welcome to the first video in our series, Protecting Your Assets from Lawsuits and Creditors. In this video, we'll be exploring the critical concept of asset protection and why it is an essential strategy for anyone looking to safeguard their financial future. In today's increasingly litigious world, individuals and business owners alike face the constant risk of lawsuits and creditor claims that can threaten their hard-earned wealth. Understanding the fundamentals of asset protection and implementing effective strategies is crucial to ensure your assets are well protected from these potential threats. Throughout this video, we'll introduce you to the basics of asset protection, explain its importance, and discuss the various risks associated with lawsuits and creditors. We'll also address some common misconceptions about asset protection and highlight the legal and ethical considerations you need to keep in mind. By the end of this video, you'll have a solid foundation in asset protection principles, ready to dive deeper into the specific strategies and tools that can help you protect your wealth in the upcoming videos of this series. Let's get started on securing your financial future. Introduction to asset protection and its importance. Asset protection is a crucial strategy for safeguarding your hard-earned wealth and assets from potential lawsuits and creditors. In today's litigious society, individuals and businesses are vulnerable to legal action that can threaten their financial security. Therefore, understanding the fundamentals of asset protection and implementing effective strategies is essential for protecting your assets and securing your financial future. Asset protection involves legally structuring your assets to reduce the risk of loss in the event of a lawsuit or creditor claim. By proactively planning and organizing your assets, you can create barriers that make it more difficult for creditors to access your wealth. This can help shield your assets from being seized or depleted in the event of a legal dispute. The importance of asset protection cannot be overstated, especially in a litigious environment where lawsuits are becoming increasingly common. Without proper asset protection measures in place, your wealth and assets could be at risk of being targeted in a lawsuit, potentially leading to devastating financial consequences. By learning about asset protection strategies and implementing them effectively, you can minimize the impact of legal threats on your financial well-being. Asset protection can provide you with peace of mind knowing that your assets are secure and shielded from potential creditors and lawsuits. In the following sections of this video series, we will delve deeper into various asset protection strategies, legal structures, and tools that you can utilize to safeguard your assets and protect your wealth. By understanding the principles of asset protection and taking proactive steps to secure your financial future, you can mitigate risks and ensure that your assets are preserved for yourself and your loved ones. The risks of lawsuits and creditors. One of the most significant threats to your financial well-being is the risk of facing lawsuits and dealing with creditors. Lawsuits can arise from a variety of situations, including accidents, business disputes, or professional liabilities. Creditors, on the other hand, can come knocking for outstanding debts, unpaid bills, or other financial obligations. Understanding the risks associated with lawsuits and creditors is crucial for protecting your assets and safeguarding your financial future. Lawsuits can have devastating financial consequences, as they often result in hefty legal fees, settlements, or judgments that can deplete your assets. Whether you are a business owner, a professional, or an individual, you are vulnerable to litigation in today's litigious society. Common types of lawsuits include personal injury claims, contract disputes, intellectual property infringement, and malpractice suits. Being sued can not only drain your financial resources but also damage your reputation and livelihood. It is essential to take proactive steps to minimize your exposure to potential lawsuits and mitigate the risks. This may involve obtaining adequate insurance coverage, implementing risk management strategies, and structuring your assets in a way that shields them from potential creditors. Creditors are entities that have a legal claim to your assets in order to satisfy a debt or obligation owed to them. Creditors can be individuals, businesses, financial institutions, or government agencies. If you fail to pay your debts, creditors can take legal action against you to recover the money owed. This can result in wage garnishment, bank levies, property liens, or even asset seizure. Dealing with creditors can be a stressful and overwhelming experience, especially if you are facing financial hardship or struggling to meet your obligations. It is crucial to communicate with your creditors, explore debt repayment options, and seek professional advice if needed. Additionally, taking proactive steps to protect your assets from creditors can help safeguard your financial security and prevent potential losses. Understanding the risks associated with lawsuits and creditors is essential for safeguarding your assets and financial well-being. By being proactive, implementing risk management strategies, and seeking professional advice, you can protect yourself from the potential consequences of litigation and creditor actions. Remember that prevention is key when it comes to protecting your assets from these risks. Common misconceptions about asset protection. Asset protection is a crucial aspect of financial planning, but there are several common misconceptions that individuals often have about this topic. In order to effectively protect your assets from lawsuits and creditors, it is important to have a clear understanding of these misconceptions and avoid falling prey to them. Below are some of the most prevalent misconceptions about asset protection. 1. Belief that asset protection is only necessary for the wealthy. One common misconception is that asset protection is only necessary for high net worth individuals. In reality, anyone who owns assets, regardless of their value, can benefit from implementing asset protection strategies. Lawsuits can arise from various situations, such as car accidents or slip and fall incidents, and having proper asset protection in place can help safeguard your hard-earned assets. 2. Thinking that asset protection is only about hiding assets. Some people mistakenly believe that asset protection involves hiding assets or engaging in fraudulent activities to shield their wealth from creditors. However, legitimate asset protection strategies focus on structuring your assets in a way that makes them less vulnerable to potential threats while remaining compliant with the law. It is essential to work with legal professionals to ensure that your asset protection plan is lawful and ethical. 3. Assuming that asset protection is only for business owners. While business owners may have specific vulnerabilities when it comes to asset protection, individuals in various professions and industries can also benefit from protecting their assets. Personal assets, such as real estate, investments, and savings accounts, are also at risk of being targeted by creditors in the event of a lawsuit. Implementing asset protection measures can help shield these assets from potential threats. 4. Belief that asset protection is a one-time solution. Asset protection is not a one-time task but rather an ongoing process that requires regular review and adjustments. Your financial situation, legal landscape, and personal circumstances can change over time, necessitating updates to your asset protection strategies. Regularly reviewing your asset protection plan with legal and financial advisors can help ensure that your assets remain adequately protected. 5. Thinking that asset protection is only for avoiding taxes. While asset protection strategies can help minimize tax liabilities, their primary purpose is to safeguard your assets from potential legal threats, such as lawsuits and creditor claims. Tax planning is an important aspect of financial management, but asset protection goes beyond tax considerations to protect your wealth from unforeseen risks. By understanding and dispelling these common misconceptions about asset protection, individuals can take proactive steps to safeguard their assets effectively. Working with experienced legal and financial professionals can help you develop a comprehensive asset protection plan tailored to your specific needs and circumstances. Legal and ethical considerations. When it comes to protecting your assets from lawsuits and creditors, it is crucial to understand the legal and ethical considerations involved. By being aware of these factors, you can ensure that your asset protection strategies are not only effective but also in compliance with the law and ethical standards. 1. Legal compliance. It is essential to ensure that your asset protection measures adhere to the relevant laws and regulations. This includes understanding the legal framework surrounding asset protection, such as the statutes of limitations for creditors to pursue claims, exemptions provided by state and federal laws, and the legality of various asset protection tools and strategies. 2. Fraudulent conveyance laws. One key legal consideration is fraudulent conveyance laws, which are designed to prevent individuals from transferring assets to defraud creditors. It is important to be aware of these laws and ensure that any asset transfers or protection strategies are not considered fraudulent under the law. 3. Ethical standards. In addition to legal compliance, it is important to consider the ethical implications of asset protection. While it is perfectly legal to protect your assets within the bounds of the law, it is essential to ensure that you are not engaging in unethical practices or attempting to defraud legitimate creditors. 4. Transparency and disclosure. Maintaining transparency and honesty in your asset protection strategies is essential from both a legal and ethical standpoint. Be sure to disclose all relevant information to creditors, legal authorities, and other relevant parties, and avoid engaging in deceptive practices or concealment of assets. 5. Professional advice. Given the complexity of asset protection laws and ethical considerations, it is highly recommended to seek the guidance of legal and financial professionals. Consulting with an attorney specializing in asset protection can help ensure that your strategies are legally sound and ethically defensible. By carefully considering the legal and ethical aspects of asset protection, you can safeguard your assets effectively while upholding your obligations and responsibilities as a conscientious individual. In conclusion, understanding asset protection is a vital step towards securing your financial future against the risks of lawsuits and creditors. we've explored the importance of asset protection, the common risks that can threaten your assets, and some widespread misconceptions that people often have. Additionally, we've highlighted the crucial legal and ethical considerations that must guide your asset protection strategies. As you move forward, remember that asset protection is not about hiding assets or engaging in unethical practices. Instead, it's about proactively planning and structuring your assets to minimize vulnerabilities and safeguard your wealth within the bounds of the law. This video has laid the foundation for understanding the essential concepts of asset protection. In the upcoming videos, we'll delve deeper into specific strategies, legal structures, and tools that you can use to protect your assets effectively. By staying informed and taking proactive steps, you can ensure that your hard-earned wealth is protected from potential threats, giving you peace of mind and financial security. Thank you for joining us in this first part of our series. Be sure to tune in to the next video, where we will explore the various legal structures and tools available for asset protection in greater detail.